Yes, hello, folks. Phil here from BTP. Been off for a week or two here, so just getting back to it. And thank you to all of you who last week sent me some really, really kind messages over quite a personal tweet. And I do apologize for not getting back to a lot of you who did send those messages. I was in the Virgin Islands and had very little internet connection, so I wasn't able to respond to all of them. But to those of you who sent me those incredibly kind messages to that personal tweet that I sent out, believe me, it was very touching and very, very nice, and it meant a lot. um, so I wanted to elaborate on a tweet I sent out on Monday, which discussed some United transfer news and discussed some info that I put out there about Bellotti, Morata, Rooney's contract, Fabinho, six players who can leave. Couple of things. First of all, Fabinho. What I actually said was that United were talking to his representatives. I never said he was signing. I never said anything like that. So, to those of you who the next day wanted to come at me about whether he was signing or not, I never said he was signing. Let me explain something first of all. This season is very different from previous seasons in that United have probably talked to about 20, 25 players. I interviewed Mark Ogden about 2 weeks ago. He said exactly the same thing. United have plan A's, B's, and C's. In previous years, they would single out a particular target, and if they didn't get them, they'd end up empty-handed. That's not happening this year. United are being much more proactive about making sure they get their targets. They've basically been working off a plan A, plan B list for quite a while because they didn't know what tournament they're going to be in, whether in the Champions League or Europa League. Everybody knows they want a defensive midfielder. Everybody knows the main positions. There's a core um, basically priority of four players. But the thing is that truthfully, I think Mourinho wants more than four. Six players have been told they can leave, but there's a minimum of four. And we all know who the vast majority of those are, obviously Lindelof. But for example, you need to talk to Michael Keane. He's not the only, Lindelof was not the only centre half that United have went after. Um, Perisic was someone United looked at a couple of months ago, and he was actually a guy that was considered for the Europa League, a signing that United felt confident that if they didn't qualify for the Champions League, they'd be able to secure no matter what. The concern with Perisic, from what I was told, was he wasn't the quickest. But from what I've been told by people who watch Italian football, Perisic has been Inter Milan's best player this season. So, um, he's, in my opinion, a player United are signing because their first priority didn't come through. Uh, the other, of course, is Bellotti or Morata. So, look, Mourinho actually, from what I'm told, prefers Bellotti over Morata, but Torino are not willing to negotiate at all. They're being very hard line on the stance on Bellotti, and so United have shifted their focus to Morata. Um, Obviously, Real Madrid wanted to hear part of the Morata deal. Um, I was shocked when people said it was going to be announced Wednesday. I didn't think they were that close. Most likely that deal will go through, um, but it won't be both, from what I'm told. It'll be one or the other. Um, but understand that w- the transfer situation is very fluid. So a lot of things happen, a lot of things change quickly, and I said earlier, about a month ago, that Ibrahimovic was asked to stay at United to do his rehab, because very positive influence around the young players, which is still true, of course, and that's exactly what United want him to do. If he proves perhaps towards the end of the season or towards December that he's fit, it's very possible United would offer him a 6 month contract at the end of the season. But you know, I cannot see any way United saying two strikers this summer. I think either Martial, if he survives this summer, or Rashford will be moved into the middle. Um, the six players that can leave, we know Rooney's one of them. Rooney has asked for his contract to be paid up in full, from what I've been told, um, and he will gladly leave. The thing is that how does he stay? Because here's a guy that wants to play in the World Cup next year, and he will not get in Manchester United's first team. There's no future for him at Manchester United. So the club would like him to go. They can afford to pay his contract up. Everyone has their own views on whether that's right or wrong. I suppose if you're in Rooney's position and you look at it straight from a business perspective, then it's hard to criticize him. But in my opinion, given the lack of professionalism that he showed over the years, given the way his transfer request was handled, there should be some sort of compromise on Rooney's part to leave United and not fleece the club on the way out. Uh, I think the other players will be either Smalling or Jones will be asked to leave. We know Smalling changed agents. Uh, Probably Ashley Young will go. Um, Darmian possibly, because Victor Lindelof can play right back. So those would be the obvious ones to me. Uh, I don't know all of the six, and United don't really want to release those names out of respect to the players. What I would also caution is about briefings from United, because one of the things that Woodward has learned from in the past uh, is briefing. Like the briefing with Pedro, for example, was a disaster. United quite clearly were interested in him. They pursued him. They didn't get the player. He went to Chelsea, turned United down. And then United briefed there was never any interest, which was just a lie. It was just nonsense. They were interested in him and it didn't come off. They briefed the same with Griezmann, saying they'd cooled their interest when quite clearly that wasn't the case. United wanted the player, pursued him, pursued him, pursued him, pursued him. And once again, the same outcome of United not getting the player they go after. Um, and Woodward has been put in a very difficult situation by Mourinho by saying he's had this list 2 months ago. So either he gets the players that Mourinho wants, or United will struggle again next season. And a defensive midfielder is a huge priority for United. Whether that will be Fabinho or not, I don't know. A lot of people saying that he likes Eric Dyer. Not everyone's happy with that, but I do know, and I trust the individual who I really wish I'd have believed more in the past, but and give me the information that United are uh, have been in discussions with Fabinho's reps. So I don't know whether he'll sign or not, but there's definitely been concrete interest from Manchester United in that player. So, like I said, minimum of four. I would actually think that by the end of the summer, United will have signed more than four. Uh, but it all depends on who leaves. They have to get players out. Despite six players being told they can leave, that doesn't mean all six will. We'll have to wait and see. But it's a very, very important summer, obviously, for United. And that defensive midfielder is not just key for United, it's key for Pogba. So I expect that will get done. Uh, United want all those players done before they come to America, with the first game July 15th. So busy next couple of weeks for United. Anyway, just a quick update, folks. We'll be back with the United Show United podcast later on in the week with Martin Warwick, of course. We'll also have coming up on that show in the next couple of weeks. Delighted to say Gaz Whelan, the drummer for Happy Mondays, will join us on one of those podcasts. Looking forward to having him on, of course, big United fan. But thanks to all of you for your tweets, your messages, for following me. If you've got any questions, let me know. I'll do another one of these and answer your questions. But it's just hard to explain some of the nuances and intricacies in these tweets because for some reason people read stuff that I never said. So thank you very much, folks. All the best.